Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. It is May 5th. Hope you're well. We're going to get started with the market update and ticker request video here momentarily. We'll give it another 30 seconds to a minute for people to join us, and we'll get started. Before we get started, though, make sure to smash like, help support me in the channel. And like I said, just sit tight. We'll get started here in about half a minute or so. See, we have quite a few people joining. Welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to get started with the live stream here momentarily. I'm going to do a market update, obviously a public live stream today. If anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know, and we'll get to those at the end. But just sit tight. We'll get started here in a few seconds. All right, going to get started with the live stream and market update for today, Friday. Happy Friday. It's May 5th. It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. If anybody does have any ticker requests, like I said, this is a public live stream. So if you do have any requests, let me know the ticker symbol and the exchange, and I'll get to those at the end. But like I said, thanks for joining the live stream today, and hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. And we'll jump into the market update. So we'll take a look at the crypto space. Obviously, we had some hot jobs report today that came out that is starting to fuel the odds that we could potentially see interest rates continue. It remains to be seen whether or not they're going to pause. They mentioned on Wednesday when they increased it by 25 basis points that we could see an end to it very soon, but it might not happen until later on this year. It might even be early 2024. But right now, the markets are responding quite well. We have Ethereum here breaking almost over 2,000. Same with gold. So gold and Ethereum right around that $2,000 mark. And we have Bitcoin knocking on 30,000. And then we had earnings from Apple and Coinbase yesterday, and those exceeded expectations, and that really helped prop the market up. And then, like I said, the hot jobs report today started to fuel speculation that we could see interest rates continue to go up, at least for the short to medium term, which I think is probably the most likely scenario. I think we could see at least one more rate hike of 25 basis points, maybe two, and then they'll probably start to pause. But until we start to see, more bank failures, things like that, in my opinion, as long as the hot job market remains, hot in the U.S., I don't think they're going to pause. But bearing any unforeseen black swans or white swans, we'll see what happens in terms of macroeconomic activity and the Fed. But taking a look at the crypto space here, as I mentioned, we have Bitcoin knocking on 30,000, Ethereum trying to get over that $2,000 threshold, and gold as well. We have lots of 15-minute uptrends at the moment. We take a look at Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame. We are set to potentially confirm a weekly bull flag. So we have the low, high, higher low, and then anything over that 0.32 is the potential for a weekly bull flag. So now in order to confirm, we need to maintain that support at 26,694. As long as that holds, the weekly bull flag remains intact. And in order to confirm the weekly bull flag, we need to break resistance at 31,050. If we break 31,050, we will confirm that bull flag, and we'll be targeting about 42,000 on Bitcoin. And if we zoom out to the monthly time frame, we do have a lack of resistance after that 31,000 resistance. We have a lack of resistance all the way up to 48,000. So I could easily see a move up to around that 42,000 if we do get over that 31,000 resistance. Taking a look at movers and shakers on the day today in terms of crypto, we have Riot, Ethereum, and HUT leading the bull list. And on the decline, we have HP, LBC, and NDA. Still awaiting a verdict on the Ripple versus SEC. We could see really a judgment any day. But again, just remaining patient and very, very bullish on XRP. Realistically, I don't really care what the US decides, because as we know, it's a decentralized digital asset that is global. So tons of other markets embracing the technology, and nothing's going to stop it, in my opinion. So obviously, we're hoping for a favorable ruling from the SEC and in the United States. Hopefully, it can be the first to gain legal clarity. But at this time, it's just a waiting game. So moving on, we'll take a look at SPY here. So SPY is also a weekly bull flag. So if we zoom in here a little bit, you can see here we have the low, high, higher low. And again, we're maintaining that support there at the 0.32 fib. So as long as that holds, we are still looking for the possibility of a weekly bull flag. And then we're actually breaking to a higher high here, but we'll need to see further follow through next week. So if we can get over 417.62 next week, that's going to be a great sign. We do have lots of buying pressure here with those two lower wicks. And like I said, if we can continue to break resistance next week, we'll be targeting roughly 439 here on the S&P 500. Just moving out to the monthly time frame here as well. So we have the low, high, higher low, trying to confirm this monthly uptrend. We have a bit of an inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly time frame as well. And there's bills right now still passing through Congress, so it's said that we could potentially see Congress being banned from owning stocks within the next 6 months. So again, watch for that to be a top indicator to potentially mark the top. Just like back here when the Fed was banned from owning stocks, of course, they don't ban themselves down here. They ban themselves at the top. They look like heroes. And then the market corrected, what was it, 30%? Almost 30%, 27% from the high to the low there. So now we're expecting, like I said, a similar scenario to play out. Like I said, I'm very bullish on the market. I think into the end of the year, we're going to see favorable conditions, and we're more than likely going to see a deviation from this dot-com fractal that we've been following. But as you can see, we're deviating from it. And I think that's just because of the fact that we have this money printer, trillions of dollars being printed. And in the dot-com days, we didn't have that. But we have so many striking similarities. I've already covered this many, many times. It was about 4 years after the RSI peaked to going oversold from when the price peaked. So from the time the RSI peaked in 1996 to the 2000 price peak here on the price action, it took about 4 years for that to happen, and then we went to monthly oversold. Similar thing here, 4 years, RSI peaked in 2018, price peaked in 2022, and we're potentially heading to monthly oversold here somewhere around, potentially the spring of 2024. So that's why I think we could deviate from this because of how manipulated the markets are. We have all this artificial propping up of the market and printing of money and liquidity into the market. So I think that, like I said, into the end of the year here, we'll continue to deviate. Congress will get banned, and that'll be a tipping point and a potential time to start to unload positions and expect one of the biggest market crashes in history. But there'll be definitely money to be made on the way down, right? You can make money. Markets can go up, down, sideways, and you can make money on the way down as well. You can short, you can use SPXS, right? The inverse leverage ETF. You can make money when SPY goes down. You can actually just buy regular short shares as well. But something we're going to be keeping an eye on is the DXY chart. So DXY is a monthly inside bar, but we're getting dangerously close to our support there at 178. If we lose 178 from here, we'll see that monthly downtrend continuation, and we'll be in a monthly downtrend, and we'll be confirming the monthly bear flag. So just like SPY and Bitcoin with weekly bull flags, DXY is a monthly bear flag, right? It's inverse. And it's on the monthly time frame, so it's even more bearish and even more bullish for stocks and crypto. So if we do confirm with a loss of 178 and get that continuation to the downside, we'll confirm a monthly downtrend, and we'll also confirm a monthly bear flag targeting about 93 on DXY, which will be extremely bullish for stocks and crypto. So gold over 2,000, so knocking on the all-time high territory. All-time high is 2,070, and we hit an all-time, this month we hit 2,067. So about $3 away. So gold, very bullish on gold as well over the next, short to medium term as well. You could easily see this at $3,000 over the next few months, especially with the contagion spreading in the banks and speculation rising that we could see even more consolidation and just bank failures as a whole. So continue to monitor that as probably the number one. DXY definitely the number one chart at the moment, but obviously the banks and failures and things like that around the banking sector going to be of top concern. So taking a look at the main watch list here. So as I said, Apple beat earnings, crushed earnings. They beat on EPS by quite a wide margin here, and they beat on their revenue. And then Coinbase as well, even under SEC scrutiny, still managed to see pretty big gain there off of the low. We're up almost 23%. But in terms of the EPS, we beat by 76%, surprise, and then 17% on the revenue. So very good numbers there from Coinbase. If we take a look at the movers and shakers on the day today, we have VEGA, Fubo, and Coin leading the bull list. And on the bear list, we have MVMD, JSDA, and WNW. Take a quick peek at Tesla as well. So Tesla still hasn't confirmed a daily uptrend yet. And we're looking for a potential gap fill there around 177. But in terms of the monthly time frame, we're just looking for a monthly higher low to be set here. In order to confirm the monthly higher low, we need to confirm a weekly uptrend, which we have yet to do so. But we're looking for this low, high, higher low, and higher high. So now key resistance is going to be 217.65. If we break that after holding this support here and forming this higher low, if we break that resistance at 217, we'll be back in a monthly uptrend, and it'll be all systems go over there for Tesla. Moving over to MJ. So exciting week it has been in MJ, Hexo, Tilray, and IMCC leading the bull list today. Not surprising to see Hexo and Tilray moving in tandem there. getting a lot of questions about how come Hexo's moving more than Tilray. And I think that's just because of the fact that the deal has yet to be solidified. We don't know for sure whether or not it's going to happen, right? We're 99% confident that it's probably going to happen. In my opinion, I think it's going to go through. The writing's sort of been on the wall. This looks to be the plan for the last year, better part of the last year or two. And at the moment, we're looking at that as the most likely scenario. But until it happens, we can't be 100% confident. And I sold about 50% of my Hexo shares to buy Tilray, and that was at about a 20% discount. It was actually at around 22% discount there at one point, meaning that if you sold Hexo at that 22% discount and arbitrage opportunity, you would get 22% more Tilray shares selling then than if you just waited until the deal completed and the conversion happened automatically, right? So I did a video on that. You can check that out. But essentially, I did a video saying, is it better to sell Hexo now or wait until conversion? I think it was actually, what is better, sell now or wait? So you can check that out, and I go over that. But essentially, it's looking like the deal so far is going to go through. But again, not 100% confident until it goes through. So there's a discount, but I think the reason why the discount is still there is because it has yet to be confirmed. But, speculation, maybe there's another offer on the table. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's going to be the case. We know that Tilray and Hexo are, partners. They signed a strategic alliance. And we're already seeing tons of Hexo manufacturing and products being made for Tilray. The Soleil Slims, I did a review on that as well. We have the Ripon Darts, right? There's tons of, similarities. And they also dropped Budweiser as a partner through the InBev deal, right? Tilray did. So again, all of that pointing to the fact that they probably knew that a takeover of Hexo was imminent, right? And just an inevitability. And then that will give them access to the Truss partnership and joint venture with Molson Coors. And you never know, maybe even Tilray could be a buyout target for Molson Coors. That's a possibility as well. But not much in terms of decline today. We have XTRX, PCLO on the bear list. But yeah, taking a look at Hexo here, nowhere near, actually we're getting close to daily oversold, daily overbought. But we have no resistance there until 192, which was the high of that run up into the announcement of Tilray acquiring them. So things can change in a hurry. If you take a look off the low there, Hexo now up almost 40%. Tilray low, high, higher low, and higher high. So strong daily uptrend confirmed. And this comes off the back of the news that we'll see a hearing next week in Congress with regards to safe banking is scheduled for May 11th. And as we know, we've seen this movie time and time again, but the fact that it keeps coming up, it's continuously a topic in Congress lately, is a good thing, right? And like I've said for a while now, I think that safe banking is going to happen. We'll see U.S. companies uplist, right, to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. They'll be able to gain financing and, potentially insurance and things like that. And then we'll see full-blown legalization. And a lot of people are wondering, is safe banking going to help Canadian companies? Well, not necessarily, because Canadian companies are already listed on the NYSE and the NASDAQ. And it's not really it's going to help them in their share price, right? Because of the fact that this is going to be a bullish catalyst for the sector, and the sector moves together, right? Just like we know USMJ, right? Look at some of our names down 80 to 90%. MedMen, BAM, GRWG leading the bull list on the US side, and then ENFit, KGKJ leading the decline. But on the the US side, it's evident that the sector moves together, because over the same time period, we got Trulieve down over 90%, while some Canadian names are down, 95 to 96, 99% from February 2021 highs, right? So the sector moves together. So what do you think when, Trulieve and Cureleaf and Cresco and, GTII, once all these companies are going to be able to uplist, that's going to be a massive catalyst for the sector. And I mentioned as well, I did a video on MSOS, that it could be a nice opportunity here, trade opportunity of 100 to 200%. And then sure enough, from the time I made that video, look how much we're up. We're up about 20% again. So I said, if you missed this opportunity here to gain 20%, I said, here's another opportunity. And then sure enough, another 20% right there. So nice swing trade opportunity. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross here in the daily time frame. And like I said, in terms of the monthly time frame, we're finally just starting the monthly bounce. So I mentioned in that video as well, you could be a little bit more conservative, wait till we break 604 resistance, start the monthly bounce. And then from there, even if we just go to EMA 12 resistance, we'd still be in a monthly downtrend with a monthly lower high as the most likely scenario. That's 60% of upside. To the price action resistance, that's 140% of upside. And then EMA 26 is over 200% of upside. So again, nice play off $5 psychological support. I even mentioned this in the Powell Group bi-weekly newsletter, and I mentioned it a few times in the Powell Group private community. And sure enough, here we are, another 20% move. So congrats to the bulls there. But like I said, this will be a bullish catalyst for the U.S. names, but not so much for Canada. But the only thing is because it's in the same sector, because the sector moves together and, not down to the second, the day, the minute, but, on the weekly, the monthly, the yearly time frame, they usually all track each other quite similarly, right? So it's going to be bullish for Canadian names, but it's not going to be that bullish because they're already on the NYSE and the NASDAQ, right? And something else to be aware of is it's not necessarily going to allow them to sell. So a lot of people are asking, is safe banking going to allow Canadian companies to sell in the US? Well, not necessarily. It's still going to be federally illegal. What has Tilray been saying? What has CGC, Canopy Growth, been saying? Once federally permissible, right? So CGC is set to take over acreage, right? But not until it's federally legal, right? So they can't do so until it's either rescheduled or descheduled or federally legal, right? And that's just the cold hard truth. So as far as I'm aware, until it's federally legal, we're not going to see, and there's going to be, whether or not it's going to be classified under the same level as alcohol, right? That's all going to have a big player, a big factor. And then, interstate commerce, we know that's a big, interstate trade, that's a big topic of conversation right now in the US. But we'll see what sort of, bills or legislation is drafted in terms of, the two countries, right? So inter-country trade, right? So we'll see exporting, importing, all of that. We'll see what sort of language they draft in the bills. But we'll see how that all plays out. It's just too early to tell at the moment. But again, this is a good thing that we're starting to see this topic come up more and more. And now that C19 is no longer the topic of concern, it seems like MJ is definitely stealing the spotlight and is probably going to be the focus here over the next couple of years. But very bullish. We'll see what next week brings. I'll be doing some coverage next week as well over the course of that hearing, and just obviously updating the sector as I usually do. But I think that's all I have to say in terms of market update. So if anybody does have any ticker requests, like I said, just let me know. The ticker and the exchange. Just take a look and see if there's any more news developments that happened since I started the stream. Not seeing anything notable. So we'll jump into the chat here. Hello, Rod. Your thoughts on Tesla and Apple? Thank you. Yeah. So I did a little bit of analysis on that earlier. Obviously, Apple had a solid beat, and I did some analysis. There was in a very, very strong uptrend. You can see here low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So a very, very strong uptrend here on the daily time frame, holding that EMA 12 as support, and then we lost it, but EMA 26 ended up holding as support as well. So riding those EMAs very nicely. But we are potentially due for, you can see it's been a while. We had this bull cross of the daily EMAs, and it's been, since that bull cross, it's now been 105 days. So we are likely due for a EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, which would mean more than likely a climax for the top here on the daily time frame. We are getting close. We already are coming off daily overbought territory as well. And then in terms of the weekly time frame, we're just about to hit weekly overbought. So I would anticipate a pretty hefty pullback here soon on Apple. And weekly oversold or overbought rather could be that catalyst and that indicator that potentially sets that top. But very, very strong weekly uptrend as well. Low, high, higher, low. Let's take a look at the low to the high here. Was that a weekly bull flag? Yes, it was. So we had the weekly bull flag with the low to the high. So this is why technical analysis isn't the end all be all. But if you just understood what a weekly bull flag was, you'd see here that we were targeting 183 way back here on February 27th. Right, and then once we broke resistance here at 157, we confirmed it. So the week of March 20th, we confirmed the weekly bull flag, and the measured move and the target was 183. What did we hit today? 174. So we came within about 5% of that. So we could still see another 5% of upside from here and weekly overbought as a potential indicator of a top being set, and then just some healthy consolidation. And then on the monthly time frame, we have no higher low here until 123. So we could easily pull back, 20 to 30% and just be looking for a monthly higher low on this pullback. And we still yet to confirm a monthly uptrend. So I'd be very cautious on Apple right now. I'd say now would be the time to be taking profit if in a trade bullish and a long position and look potentially to reload cheaper. But again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This is for entertainment purposes only, obviously not financial advice. And then you also wanted to look at Tesla real quick. So I did cover that earlier. But Tesla just looking, so Tesla is a little bit ahead of Apple, because we had that huge move on Tesla, right? We went from 100 psychological support, essentially, which I mentioned was a nice area to potentially go long, and swing opportunity. We saw about 113% of upside. Now we're starting monthly consolidation. We're forming this higher low. We'll be confident that the higher low is set once we confirm a weekly uptrend, which we've yet to do. And then if we break 217 resistance, we'll confirm a monthly uptrend, and then we'll be very bullish on Tesla. But right now, we're just looking for this monthly uptrend to confirm. So Apple, we can anticipate a similar scenario playing out where we form a higher low and then a higher high. So I would anticipate monthly consolidation at some point soon. If not this month, with 25 days left, there's still tons of time. So it could potentially happen as early as this month. Hi, Rod. Wondering, should I sell my Hexo shares on Monday morning or should I hold till Thursday? How high can Hexo go if we get banking? So again, I did a video on that. What is better to sell now or wait? So I'll just bring up the sheet here real quick. We'll do a quick exercise. I do have to get going here in about 15 minutes, but I'll bring this up real quickly here for you. We'll see if we can calculate this real quick. So essentially there's an arbitrage opportunity. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's not a guarantee that the deal is going to go through. So that's the risk you play. That's why I'm preparing for all scenarios, right? That's all you can do is markets go up, down, or sideways. All we can do, we don't know, we don't have crystal balls. All we know is we can prepare for all scenarios. So I'm preparing for the inevitability and the most likelihood of the deal passing. That's what I think is the most probable. But I'm also preparing for the deal not going through, and how I'm preparing for that is retaining 50% of my Hexo shares. So I sold 50%, and I've been accumulating Tilray position as well for the last year or so, but I've been very slow going into that, anticipating a potential merger, right? So now that the merger is happening, or certainly looks to be happening, now I'm starting to sell some of those Hexo shares. 50% I sold about, and I'm buying Tilray with it, and I got it at about a 20% discount, right? Meaning I got 20% more Tilray shares selling than if I waited till conversion. But again, still holding 50% of my Hexo shares just in case the deal doesn't go through. So here's the Excel sheet. So you would take the price of, let's just bring up the list here. So the price of Hexo and Tilray, we're sitting at 277. Hexo's at 150 USD, and the ratio is 0.4352. So you take 150, price of Hexo, you divide it by the ratio, 0.4352, and you get a converted share price of $3.45. We'll round it up. So $3.45. And then we'll expand this here a little bit. And then here's the formula here. So you would take, so that how you get ticker 2 converted share price is price 2, so 150 Hexo, divided by the ratio, and that gives you 345. That gives you your ticker 2 converted share price. And then in order to get the discount, you take ticker 2 discount equals share price 1 minus ticker 2 converted divided by ticker 2 converted. So you take share price 1, which is Tilray, at 277, you minus ticker 2 converted, which is 345, which we got from the previous formula, and then you divide that by ticker 2 converted, which is 345 again. So that gives you a discount right now of about 20%, right? 19.7%. So you put 19.7, round that up. So again, right now, if you sold, you would essentially get about a 20% discount, right? Versus waiting until conversion. But again, we don't know for sure that's going to happen. So I can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold. I can't tell you what to do. I just told you what I'm doing, and you can make your own decision from there, right? I can't legally give you financial advice, so I'm not going to tell you to buy, sell, or hold. But what I did was I sold 50% of my Hexo, and then got that around 20% discount, and then holding 50% of my Hexo just in case, right? But like I said, on the daily time frame, Hexo has no resistance. We close right at the high of the day, and we have no resistance until 192. So we could easily see another, 20 to 30% of upside from here, and one, big giant potential cup and handle. And we are seeing EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but not yet daily overbought either. And then on the weekly time frame, nowhere near weekly overbought. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, if we get banking, if we get progress and some, optimism, further optimism with regards to that, look at the monthly time frame. Tilray just starting the monthly bounce with breaking 277, right? So we're just starting the monthly bounce. The next resistance here is at 359 and then 512. So Tilray could easily see another 30 to 80% of upside, maybe even more on that news, right? And then Hexo on the monthly time frame, next resistance is at 192, as I mentioned. And then after that, we don't really have any resistance until around 350 psychological. So we could easily, like I said, we could easily see another 30 to maybe even 100% plus on Hexo leading into this news, right? And Hexo is actually in the best position here to confirm a monthly uptrend. Actually, we had the low, high, higher low, but we didn't have much of a bounce here on the monthly time frame. So now we have the low. I would consider this our high, and then looking for a higher low, but it's not clear. But again, like we're coming off monthly oversold, and we could easily, like just to EMA 12, right? If we just backtrack EMA 12, that's 200% of upside here for Hexo. Same thing with Tilray. If we see EMA 12 here in the cards, that's about almost 40% of upside, right? So yeah, if we get safe banking progress and optimism and further progress with regards to it potentially passing, we could easily see another 50 to 100% here on some of these names. Hopefully that helps. ICP, any thoughts? Thank you. The crypto, you mean? ICP? It helps if you give me the exchange or the complete pair as well. I assume you mean... Yeah, there's no real ticker, so I assume you mean ICP, the crypto. So ICP, we have the low, high, looking for a higher low. So if we break above 823, that would confirm a monthly uptrend. So you could look to potentially enter with a break of that resistance there at 823, and then we would be in a monthly uptrend, and then we have really no resistance on the monthly, no real resistance until 86. So that's like, 9x from here, almost 10x, right? So 900 to 1,000%. So that's one way you could do it. Play, you could even set a stop buy it if we break 823 resistance. I'd say maybe allow a little bit of wiggle room if we break, 830. And then on the weekly time frame, we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, leading to further upside. Nowhere near daily overbought territory, but not 100% sure if that's what you meant. I assume you mean ICP, Internet Computer, the crypto. It's not on stock charts yet. Yeah, on the daily time frame, we are at risk of a daily downtrend here with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. So if we lose 554, we'll confirm a daily downtrend. So that's going to be key support going forward in the short term. But like I said, in the long term, in the monthly time frame, we'll be looking for a break of 823 to confirm a monthly uptrend, and that would be very, very bullish. And we are seeing a bit of an inverse head and shoulders here too, with the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And you can even draw that with the head and shoulders here. So you do something like this. Right? Not the most clear, but just take a look at the measured move here. What we could potentially expect. That'd give us about a measured move of around $22. All right, hopefully that helps. Hello. I would like to know your opinion on why CGC is weaker than most of MJ ever since they reported earnings. Yep, so again, it's hard to really say. We're still nowhere near. We're dropping to a monthly lower low, new 52-week low, and we're dangerously close to the all-time low here on the NASDAQ. But realistically, it's just following the rest of the space, right? So if we look at February 2021 highs to where we are, we're down 97%, right? How much is Hexo down from the same time period? It was down over 99%. How much was Tilray down? 96, almost 97%, right? So it's just par for the course, in my opinion. Right? We're now down over 97%. And CGC, there's no path to clear profitability. They're not expecting profitability anytime soon. And it could be 2024 or 2025 before they have anything, right? And then, you got Tilray and Hexo merging. Like, what's CGC got going on, right? They don't really have much. They've got, Canopy US, which they're working on, that US holdings company and entity for entry into the US. But I think it's just, following the rest of the sector here at the moment. And That's just the name of the game right now. Most Canadian MJ is down, 95 to 99% from February 2021 highs. And then Canopy closed its retail locations, so still dealing with some of the aftermath of that. And like I said, it's just there's no real clear path to profitability for Canopy, and there's just not that much optimism. Maybe they need to do some more mergers and acquisitions as well just to compete, because right now, it's Tilray, Aphria, Hexo, Redecan. That's a pretty big powerhouse to go up against. So I wouldn't be surprised if CGC did do a deal. But I would say that's more than likely the case, just technical based and just following the rest of the sector. But yeah, earnings were less than awesome. We do have earnings scheduled for the 30th of May. We'll have to seek official confirmation on that. I didn't bet that, but that's what we'll be expecting. Estimate is negative 0.152 for EPS and 72.357 million for revenue. So again, just continue to slide. 74 they reported. Now they're expecting 72. So until we get, the MJ Act here in Canada revamped and changed, right? It's hard for these companies, especially with all the competition. There's over 1,000 LPs. There's so much still restrictions on the industry from a regulation standpoint. So until things change, it's basically just status quo for the moment. Hopefully that helps. 90 billion share buyback program on Apple as well. Yep. So CGC is late to the party pretty much then. Yeah, that's what I think is going on. It's just catching up to the rest of the sector. I haven't seen anything else that would state otherwise. So that's I think it's mostly technical based, just catching up to the rest of its peers and the brutal bear market that it has not been immune to, right? So, but I do have to run. It's been a pleasure as always. Going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Powell Group, and thanks for everybody's contributions to the live stream. Hopefully that helps. And like I said, we'll be expecting more upside, in my opinion, on the broader market in crypto leading into next week. But happy Friday. Have a fantastic week ahead. You're very welcome, everybody. Thanks again. And we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Talk to you soon.